Example 3 says find the quadratic function y equals ax squared plus bx plus c whose graph passes through the points 1, 4, 2, 1, and 3, 4. Now we're after the equation y equals ax squared plus bx plus c, right? Yeah. And they gave us 3 ordered pairs. How are we going to find our equation from there? What do we need?
X, Y, and Z.
No.
And
A,
and X,
B, and C.
Yeah.
Okay, because those are our unknowns. X's and Y's change in equations, don't they? Because Y depends on whatever the X value is. So we need to find what A, B, and C are, what our constants are going to be here. So in order to do that, I need to have 3 equations. Well, guess how many ordered pairs they gave me? 3. So we're going to use each one for an equation. So let's look at the first one. The first one is 1, 4. What does an ordered pair consist of?
X and Y.
X and a Y. So if I take this equation right here, and I can plug in that X and Y and then simplify it down. So it's Y equals, so I'm going to put 4 equals, it's A times, what is my X?
1.
Squared, plus B times, what is X again?
1.
Plus C. Now remember, PEMDAS says we do exponents before we multiply, right? So I'm going to do that exponent there. So I have 4 equals A times, what's 1 squared?
1.
Plus B times 1 plus C. And then we can multiply. So 4 equals, what's A times 1?
A.
And then what's B times 1? Positive B. And then we have our C there, so plus C. And so there's my first equation. A plus B plus C is equal to 4. Even though I have it written different there, we're used to seeing the equal sign at the other end. So we know A plus B plus C equals 4. And so now we're going to do that with the another ordered pair. So pick the next one. 2, 1. It's my X and my Y. And plug it into our equation there. So Y equals A times, what is the X? 2. Good, squared, plus B, what is the X?
2.
Good, plus C. Again, exponents first. So we got 1 equals A times, what's 2 squared?
4.
Good, plus B times 2 plus C. And then multiply, so we get 1 equals, what's A times 4?
4A.
And then we got B times 2.
2B plus C.
Good, plus C. So we know that 4A plus 2B plus C is equal to 1. I'm just moving the equal sign to the other side. Alright, and then we get to do it again. To our last ordered pair, which is 3, 4. So same thing, Y equals, so 4 is equal to A times, what is X this time?
3.
Squared plus B, what is X again?
3.
Plus C. So 4 equals A times, you can use the bottom slide there if you need to. There's a couple slides on the next page even. I left y'all several pages blank there so you have room, okay? So, alright, back here we got 4 equals A times, what's 3 squared?
9.
Good. Plus B times 3 plus C. And then, just like before, now we're multiplying. What's A times 9?
9A.
And what's B times 3?
3B.
And then plus C. So there's my third equation. We know that 9A plus 3B plus C is equal to
4.
Okay, so now that we got our 3 equations, we're ready to start solving for A, B, and C. So step 1, What do we do first?
You have to get like 2D equations, and then you gotta do the thing with them.
Okay.
Shortened equations.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, we're going to combine two of the equations, so we need to pick two of them so we can do the addition method to it, right? So we can eliminate one of those variables. So which two equations do you want to pick first?
First and second.
Okay, so these two. So we're going to use A plus B plus C equals 4. And 4A plus 2B plus C equals 1. And we have to pick a variable that we're going to eliminate. Do you want to eliminate A, B, or C?
C.
Now always look as well, guys, at the third equation and make sure if it's already missing a variable, I want to get rid of that same variable so I don't have to work the second part of part 1. It'll already be done for me. But unfortunately for us, the third one has all three equations, or all three variables, excuse me. So you had to pick one, and y'all said C. Okay, remember you're going to multiply the top equation by the digit in front of the C in the second equation. Don't worry about the sign yet, just the digit itself. And you multiply the second equation by the digit in front of the C in the first equation. So they're both ones. Then you have to check the sign. Are my signs different already? No, they're both positive. So I need to make them different. So what am I going to do? Make one of them negative. Which one? The top equation or the bottom one? All right. So I'll make that a negative one on the outside. So we're going to take this negative one and we're going to distribute it. So negative A minus B minus C equals negative 4. You're going to take this positive one and distribute it. So 4A plus 2B plus C equals 1. And now we combine them. So what is negative A plus 4A?
3.
3A plus
And what's negative B plus 2B?
B.
And what's negative, oh, not circling there, negative C plus C?
Cancel.
And so we got equals, what's negative 4, and that's a positive 1, so plus 1. All right, so that's one of the equations I'm going to need for step 2, right? Now the second part of step 1 says pick two other equations. So we can use the top and the bottom or the bottom two. Or the bottom two, I should say.
Top and bottom.
Top and bottom. So those two there. So we got A plus B plus C equals 4. And 9A plus 3B plus C equals 4. All right, so which variable are we going to eliminate?
C.
C. We always want to eliminate the same variable we did in the right above it, right?
Yeah.
So remember, multiply the first equation by the digit in front of the second C. Multiply the second equation by the digit in front of the first C. And check out your signs. Are they different?
No.
What am I going to do then?
Make the top one.
Make the top one negative? Does it matter? Either one of them, as long as one of them is negative. Okay, so we're going to distribute this through. So negative A minus B minus C equals negative 4. Distribute the positive 1 all the way through. So 9A plus 3B plus C equals 4. And then combine them. What's negative A plus, that's a positive 9A, so plus 9A.
Positive 8A.
What's negative B plus 3B? What's negative C plus C? Equals, what's negative 4 plus 4?
0.
So there's my other equation. So that's step 1.
Wait, how many steps are there?
Okay, so step 2 says we're going to take those two equations that had two variables and we're going to put them together and solve for one variable. So which variable do we want to eliminate now?
B.
B? Alright, so remember we're going to multiply the top equation by the digit in front of the b in the second one, so a 2. And the bottom equation by the digit in front of the b in the first one. So that's a 1. Remember, check your signs. Are they different?
No.
No, so I have to make them different. So what am I going to do?
Make one negative.
Make one of these numbers on the outside a negative. Which one?
2.
Okay. So we're going to distribute the negative 2. We're going to distribute the 1. And then combine. So what's our negative 6a plus, 8a? 2a. What's negative 2b plus 2b? Equals, what is 6 plus 0?
6.
And can we solve for a?
Divided by 2.
Okay, so divide by 2. A equals what?
3.
A equals 3. That's one of my answers.
Hopefully.
So step 3. What does step 3 tell us to do?
Solve for another variable.
Take the answer we just found and plug it into one of the equations that had 2 variables to solve for the other one, right?
Yep.
So basically we're going to take where we just found a is 3 and plug it into one of these equations. Which one?
Wait, why is it
Oh, I'm sorry.
First one,
It could be one of those, but we prefer to use these. I'm sorry, I drew the line to the wrong ones. So, which one do you want to use, the top or the bottom one?
top.
Alright, so we're going to use the 3a plus b equals negative 3. And we're plugging in a is what number?
3.
So we're going to plug in a is 3. So we work that out. What's 3 times 3?
9.
So 9 plus b equals negative 3. Now what do I do?
Subtract 9.
And we find b equals...
Negative 12.
Good, so there's my b. And then step 4 is to find the third variable. Well, what do you do if you already know 2 of the variables?
Plug in one of the original equations.
Plug in the 2 you know into one of the original equations. So which original equation do we want to use? First one, I agree. It's usually the easiest. So we know that a plus b plus c is equal to 4. We said a is 3. B is a negative 12. I don't know c, but they're equal to 4. So I'm just going to get rid of my parentheses here. So this is just 3. What is plus a negative 12?
Negative 12.
So minus 12. And then I have my plus c equals 4. What's 3 minus 12?
9.
So 9 plus c, what is it again?
Negative 9.
Negative 9, thank you. Plus c equals 4.
Add 9.
And we get c equals,
13.
alright, so there's my 3 pieces. Alright, good. Step 5 is we got to check and make sure these answers are correct. So how do we check them? Plug them back into one equation? All 3 of them. So a plus b plus c equals 4. So we're going to plug in that a was 3, plus our b, which is negative 12, plus our c, which is 13, and we want to make sure that's equal to 4, don't we? So we have 3 plus a negative 12 is what? Minus 12. And then we got plus 13. What's 3 minus 12?
Oh, 9. Negative 9.
Negative 9. And I got plus 13. What's negative 9 plus 13? 4. And that's what we wanted, isn't it? Is 4 equal to 4?
No.
Yes. So far so good. Let's go on to the second equation. 4a plus 2b plus c equals 1. So we're going to plug in a, b, and c. So we said a was 3, b is negative 12, and c was 13. Let's work this out. What's 4 times 3?
12.
What's 2 times negative 12?
Negative 24.
And then I have plus 13. What's 12 minus 24? Negative 12 plus 13, which is positive 1, which is what we wanted, right? And then check your last one. 9a plus 3b plus c equals 4. So again, we're plugging in a, b, and c. A is 3, b is negative 12, and c was 13. What's 9 times 3?
27.
And what's 3 times negative 12?
Negative 36.
And then we get plus 13.
40 minus 36 equals 4.
Okay, I see what you did. You took and added the first and the last together and then subtracted the middle. That works. I'm going to go ahead and just do it in order. So what's 27 minus 36?
Negative 9.
And then plus 13,
4.
which is what we were wanting, right?
Maybe.
So we know that this is our solution. Our A is 3, our B is negative 12, and our C is 13. But what did the problem ask me for? Find
Quadratic.
the quadratic function. So I need to plug A, B, and C into that. So for my answer, I know y equals, what was A?
3.
X squared plus what was B?
Negative 12.
X plus what was C?
13.
And then just work that out. So we got y equals 3x squared. What's plus a negative 12 times x?
Negative 12.
Okay, so minus 12x, and then we have our plus 13. And so there is our quadratic function that it was looking for.